What's up, everybody? Apex Nation, CFM Nation, everyone, everything. It's your boy, the Alpha Heel 7. Guy coming to you with more of a chance to play in the NFL than Antonio Brown at this point. That's right, it's me, the Alpha Heel 7. If you have been hiding under a rock, or maybe you just never got a chance to see this, this is the first episode of Unfiltered. That's right. Now, I've done this in the past for other leagues. This is the first episode for Apex Madden Community. So, the Apex Madden League is a league that I developed for gamers that want a little bit different of an experience than other leagues. This show, I normally just kind of go over what's going on in the league, put my little sour spin on it, and also, I do it unfiltered. So I do it, it could offend you at some point, and if I do, I apologize to absolutely no one. Shout out to Conor McGregor, great win the other night. Anyway, this is the episode that will make or break us. If I don't get more than 10 views, 2 likes, that kid with cancer is not going to be healed. So, but you know that. Throwing that out there. No pressure or anything. So, I'm just kidding. I shouldn't joke about cancer. Those Facebook posts. Anyway, this is the first episode. So yes, we are going to be talking about football. That's right, football is going on right now. The Apex Madden League. We are, I believe, in week 9 or 10. We're moving right along, man. These advances are going really quick. We are currently, a little bit past midway. A lot to talk about, man. As you could see on the left side of my head there, we have some subjects that we're going to talk about. We got 5 subjects. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about them in, obviously a certain order. I'm not going to be debating anybody, okay? I'm not going to be giving out some crazy nonsense that ESPN and Fox Sports and all them guys like to do. I'm just going to be covering our league, right? I'm not covering anyone else's league. I'm covering our league, right? This is Apex Madden League, unfiltered. Not Joe Schmo's Awesome Madden League, unfiltered. So, with that being said, this is the format. I hope you all like it. I've been doing it for a while. I'm trying to do this periodically, every couple weeks. I do have a newborn, so it's hard for me to get away from that. As you can see in high def, right? The bags, right? The bags, that's not just my age. That's because I'm getting a lack of sleep right now. So, feel sorry for me, please. Anyway, we're going to be talking about football, right? Who doesn't like football? Let's talk about midseason, what we have going on right now. Obviously, it's too early to predict awards. It's too early to talk about who's going to get what, but we're going to talk about midway through the season who we like, right? So first one, we're going to talk about the midseason rookie of the year, okay? So I'm going to talk about the one in the AFC and one in the NFC because we've got some really good rookies right now, really good rookies doing great things. First rookie I want to talk about is in the AFC. That's right, the AFC. And this is Miko Hardman, right? The wide receiver out of Kansas City. You would think that, your blessed actually loves using the Chiefs, and he loves that speed. You would think that Tyreek Hill would be leading the league in receiving yards, or leading his team in receiving yards, but that's not the case. It's actually Miko Hardman, and he is second in the league in yardage. Now, again, we're, coming up on, I believe, week... I gotta check, because if not, it's week 10. Okay, we're in week 10. Not a lot of games have been played. But Miko Hardman, man, this dude is killing it. He's got 57 receptions. So I do believe that he is leading the league in receptions, which he is. And he's second in yardage at 950. Miko Hardman is basically taking the stress away from Tyreek Hill as he beats kids. I'm just kidding. But he's taking the stress away from Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, when you play against him, you really do watch him and you put your best corner on him. This has allowed Miko Hardman to basically just blossom in this rookie season. He has been able to just kind of completely transcend this offense. Mahomes is actually leading the league in yardage, and it's really a big chunk of that is because of Miko Hardman. He's got 950 yards and 9 touchdowns. He is second in the league in touchdowns, so he has a great chance, if he keeps us going, to win that Rookie of the Year in the AFC. So great job, Miko Hardman. A guy coming out of nowhere, the second-round pick, and he's got the speed to do it. But he also, he's, because Tyreek is, drawing the double teams, and they got to look at Kelsey, Hardman has, been able to just really, really get this thing going. So I love what I'm seeing out of him. Let's go take a look at the NFC. NFC is actually, I looked at the list, right? I looked at the rookies, and I said, who's going to be my Rookie of the Year through midway season for the AFC, and who's going to be my Rookie of the Year in the NFC? I'll be honest with you, it was an easy choice for both guys. I mean, if you look at the stats, it's been pretty crazy. We're going to be looking right now at Montez Sweat. That's right, Montez Sweat, the guy from the Old Spice commercials, right? Because his last name is Sweat, and their whole campaign is anti-sweat, right? But he's also getting that campaign because he's got putting up 15 sacks through week 10. That's right. He's averaging over 1 sack a game. Completely dominating on the defensive side of the ball. We're going to talk more about the Redskins later, but man, Montez Sweat, 24 tackles, 15 sacks. This guy is on pace to break the rookie record for sacks, right? Because we are playing Madden on All-Pro, and they put all these, new nuances in the game. It's a lot easier to get sacks now. We have just actually raised our offensive lineman XP to 150. Shout out to Rev for suggesting that. But what it's done is just open up the sacks. I mean, it really has. Montez Sweat, what's really unique about him, his power move, finesse move, is only an 80, and he's still able to be at the top of the sack list. He doesn't have any type of superstar X factor or superstar ability right now. So for him to do this without that is pretty damn impressive, because if you look at number 1, it's Joey Bosa, has an X factor. Tied for number 2 with Sweat is Aaron Donald, X factor. I believe with this game, you have to have that X factor to be able to just move guys over and just get the rush. He's been doing it without that. That's what's so impressive about Sweat. And guess what? He's only 22, so he's only going to get better. So as you can see, those are my 2 picks for the midseason Rookie of the Year. If these guys continue going down the path they're going, it's going to be pretty easy. It's going to be a landslide. I just don't see how anyone can beat them. It really is quite impressive. So with that being said, let's take a look at the midseason surprise. That's right. Surprise, surprise, mother. This is my surprise pick. These are teams, this is a team that I did not think was going to be at the top of the list or doing as well as what they're doing. You look at a lot of these owners I know and a lot I don't. But, I do know some of these owners, and I do know some of the owners that, traditionally aren't the best users in other leagues. And, in our league, they're doing pretty good. Could be, just they really want to win in this league, or it could be, maybe the rules fit their gameplay. But this user right here, very surprising to me. I'll be completely honest with you. Took over the worst team in Madden. I believe they were rated like a 68 or 67. I would have never had this guy winning more than 5 games. Nothing to do with him. It was more to do with the team that he took over. It was a team that just basically it was rebuild. They traded, a bunch of the good players. He will have 3 first-round picks because of the trades that were made in real football. That's right. I'm talking about the Miami Dolphins. Phil, golf clap. You're doing great, man. Great surprise. He's actually in the playoff hunt right now at 5-3. He's ranked 7th, but if the Ravens or the Titans slip, I know the Titans just made a move for Austin Hooper. Great move, by the way, Rev. I know it was actually kind of done before you got here, but anyway, great job, Phil. 5-3 with these, decimated Dolphins, man. You really, the average offensive lineman, he was talking about this last night, is like 67 or something. It's crazy bad. So I'm giving him a shout out. I think that's awesome that he's been able to do what he's been doing with this team. So obviously having 3 first-round picks, having probably the most cap out of any team out there, he's got only to move up. I mean, honestly, 3 first-round picks, cap out the yin-yang. I would not be surprised if this team was like an 82 come, 2020 in Apex, or their second season. So great job, Phil. You're, obviously my mid-season surprise. I could have went with the Redskins because they're undefeated, but I know King of Wakanda just takes any team and just turns them into gold. Nothing to do with you, Phil, as far as like how good you are. I think you're a great user, but what you've done with the least amount of talent on the game is absolutely phenomenal. So great job. Like what I'm seeing out of this team here. And finally, well, not finally. We're not finally, okay? I've got another segment, but that's the last one. I'm just a little surprised. You can see it at the top left there. I can't believe I got it, because I actually had to point right for it to go left. See? Anyway, mid-season most valuable player and most valuable owner. Now, again, we could have went with a lot of teams. We've got the New England Patriots, a 7-2, great job. What he's doing with that team. The 7-2 Jaguars, we watched him on Apex Prime. He just basically took apart the Cincinnati Bengals. Great job by RK Weef. We could have went with the Bengals. Weatherbeast just came in, taking over a team, doing pretty well with the Bengals. Could have went with myself. I'm 8-1 right now with the Packers, but that's a really good roster, and I, kind of fits what I like to do. Could have went with the 6-2 Rams. I mean, they're doing really good things right now as well. And even the 4-4 Buccaneers. It doesn't seem like, that's very impressive, but what Ragin' Cajun's done with this team has been nothing short of phenomenal. I think he's won 3 or something in a row. He actually took them over from a guy that had to leave, so he has actually just been doing crazy good things, and he's leading that division. Now, that obviously NFC South is not really that great right now, but he's 4th in the playoff race, and is doing great things. So he can really make a run at not only making the playoffs, but making a run in the playoffs. But nonetheless, let's talk about the team and the owner that I'm going to go with. That's right, King of Wakanda. We're talking about you again. Can't stop talking about this guy. 9-0 with the Washington Redskins. How can you not say that this owner is the MVP thus far in the midseason? Taking over one of the worst teams on the game. And they do have a lot of young talent, but they do have a lot of older players that are overpaid. Alex Smith right now making $20 million a year at 69 overall. You got Josh Norman making $14 million at 79 overall. Those are probably going to be 2 contracts he gets rid of at the end of the season, which is only going to help him out going forward with, free agents, signing guys that he's already got. So 9-0, man, this guy is rolling. If you look at his offense right now, it is absolutely amazing what he's been doing. He is in the top 3 of all 4 major categories. That's right. Points scored. He has 32 points per game. That is second in the entire league. I think I'm first, by the way. I don't want to throw that out there. But first in overall passing yardage. He has taken a lot of these rookies kind of started out weak. He's taken over Dwayne Haskins, who wasn't really that great starting in this game. And he's passing, that's total yardage. This is 428 total yardage. But still, with the run and passing game, he's been completely dominant. And then you look at the passing game, 252 yards a game. And he's doing it with Haskins and, not really great cast around him. He doesn't have a lot of great weapons. He's got Terry McLaurin, Jordan Reed, some other guys that, can catch a ball, but man, nothing really super impressive, and he's doing really good with it. So I don't know if it's a matter of him just being a great user, which he is, or just maybe the team fits what he likes to do. He was pretty excited to, rebuild these Redskins teams. Or this Redskins team, but I would be shocked if he thought that he was going to be, if I'd asked him in week 1, like, what do you think you're going to be going into week 10? And he would have said 9-0. It's just a hard team to build around, especially when you got such great users in this league. I think we have a good, parity. I think that we're going to have like multiple Super Bowl winners. I'm very proud of that. I want to get good users in here that, are going to try to rebuild teams and you know, you may see a guy this season at like 5-11, but next season go, 11-5. So that's the type of owners I do think we have. So I'm pretty excited about that. His rushing yardage, he is the best in the league. He's running 176 yards a game. Redskins don't have the best line. I mean, they have Scherf and Williams. They're not a lot of other good players. So he's been doing it with, really a lack of talent. I do like Geis. I do like Peterson. They do have some good running backs. Love, Chris Thompson. But he's been able to really pull together. And let's look at defense. He's not the best on as far as against the pass. But I'll be honest with you, if you look at the Redskins Corners, they are one of the worst teams with the corners. I think Josh Norman is the best. He's like 79 overall. They do have Landon Collins and some other pieces, but they are struggling. They're about 27th in the league against the pass. So if you're going to play against the Redskins, wink, wink, spread them out. Spread them out and make it, beat them over the top. But he's got the pass rush and the defensive line to cut off the time that you have the pass. So he's doing great against the run. He's only allowing 66 yards a game, and that's 5th in the league. So great job by Wakanda. Can't say enough good things about this guy. Always has a good attitude. Midseason MVP. So he is actually one of the best as of right now. He's going to be doing a lot with the rookies. He likes to do draft classes. So he's going to be our draft guru alongside Dan Greco. So we're going to have like a Kuiper McShay type of deal. So if you do like rookies and you do like immersion, this is the league for you, because I put on a fantastic rookie draft show. I'm not just patting myself on the back, but I really like what we do. I've done it in the past with other leagues, and I'm going to do it with us. Basically, I've just got all these ideas that are like jumbled, and I just have to start pulling them apart. But that's what we're looking at, and I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited where we're going. And that kind of brings me into the last segment. So let me do this little cool feature for you. Ow. I can even feel the heat. I can feel the heat. What do you think? Shout out to Al Ferreira for that. That was an awesome intro. Alfa's hot takes. Okay, so basically, if this is your first time watching a show, Alfa's hot take is basically me just going over, stuff that's kind of controversial in the league. Maybe I'm calling out owners. Maybe I'm calling out certain players. But it's also going over just kind of like, I do have my own show called State of the League, where I just kind of go over what's going on in the league. But this is going to be more of a shorter segment of that. So I do want to give a shout out to everybody right now. We are on a 72-hour advance, but everyone seems to be getting their games in. They're excited. Even when people are losing and they have like losing records, some of those guys are the first ones to get the games in. That's just phenomenal. So at this point, I want to talk about how great we're doing with the advances. I do. I love it. I love what you guys are doing, but we're also going to be calling out people. Okay, I'm not going to call out anyone individually, but I am going to call out some people in our community. Okay, listen up. If you haven't been listening and you're watching Pornhub on your TV, you got your lube and everything, and you're about to rub one off, hold on, okay? Okay, just hold on. So I want to go over a couple things that really are bothering me. It's not huge, but it's bothering me to the fact that I have to bring it up. One of those things is complaints. Okay, guys? I will be the first one to tell you that when I lose, I get upset. It's just, we're all competitive, right? But the bigger goal, okay? I want you to see the bigger goal. The bigger goal is sim over win. I do not want guys losing and saying, man, this dude did outside runs all game. And then I go look, I spend, 15 minutes going through the stream and seeing how many he did, and he did like 4. Okay? You were mad, you were reeling, and you had to find some reason to complain. Going forward, if you say he ran streaks, or he ran, cover 3 drop all game, unless you provide me with examples, like, time, okay, here's a stream, timestamp, boom, 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 I'm just not going to take your complaint. I don't have time to go through these. My DMs are getting blown up with people complaining about how they're being wronged, or how they're not, how they lost because of this and that. Okay, I want your feedback. Okay, if a player needs coaching, because of their gameplay, let's do that. I am all about, I've given guys that are no longer in the league plenty of chances. I've actually given some guys 3 or 4 because if they have a good attitude, that's what means the most to me, because it means that I can work with that, okay? If you have good attitude and maybe we got to work on a couple things, I'll work with you personally, right? I'm the king hoorah of the league, and I will work with you, okay? If you have a crappy attitude and I bring it to you and you say, this is part of the game, or this is what we do, and, you know, this is sim, I'm not going to argue with you, okay? Going forward, if I bring something to you and you have a bad attitude, you are gone. That's something that I cannot work with, is a bad attitude. Now, I want to coach people. I want to help people. But if your gameplay is so far out left field that you're like, I can tell that every other game from Apex is mutt, go, you know, that sounds really negative, but just go, you know, leave the league for a little bit, work on your gameplay, and then come back. I always suggest people read through the rules, okay? If ever in doubt, probably not allowed, okay? But just read through the rules, okay? I know they're kind of extensive, but, you know, if you get them down and you start playing that way, it unlocks a whole new fun factor for a lot of guys in the Madden community. I understand that my rules are not for everybody, but I think if you give them a chance and you play by them, you're going to have a good time. Now, if you play against somebody that's not using them, you're probably not going to have a good time. Like South Park says, you're not going to have a good time. But that player you're playing against, get me the stuff, man. Get me the give me the timestamp so I can help that person out. If I can't help that person out, then we'll replace them with somebody that will place him. We currently got 5 guys on the wait list. I expect that to grow, okay? Because we got a lot of guys that are going to be sending people over. So, I don't have time to babysit, okay? I have time to help you if you want to get better, but if you're so far out there that you cannot be saved, come back when you have a better grasp of this. That's all I'm saying. And for you complainers, please do me a favor. When you lose, take your computer, if you have a laptop. If you have a phone, this, okay? I want you to take your phone, go like this, and just put it down. Put it down. Don't mess with it. Put it down for an hour. Let all that anger just kind of roll off of you. Come back, and if you still feel like you got taken advantage of, go back and watch videotape, okay? You start seeing, man, this guy did do this. He wasn't in his zone. He was running cover 3 the entire game. Okay, then that's when we need to get timestamp, okay? Because I will not process complaints if you say, this guy did this all game. I'm not going to do it. I don't have time to dick around with you, okay? And you're not helping the other person either, to be honest with you. Because all you're doing is saying, this guy sucks, I should have won, the game cheated me. Okay, we all feel cheated, okay? But that's the process. And you know what? If you have a positive attitude and you feel like you can bring it to him in a very positive way, you could always pause the game. Send him a DM and say, hey man, just wanted to remind you that you're not staying in your zone. You've got to do that, okay? Or, hey, I want to remind you that you're running a lot of outside runs and the rule says you have to really switch it up. Because at that point, then the player, you know, maybe you may take that as a, you know, positive and say, oh, yeah, you're right, man. I'm sorry about that. I'll work on it. I've had a lot of positive feedback. I brought guys certain things and they're like, man, I'm sorry, man. I'll work on that. I can work with you. Okay. I just can't work with a bad attitude, man. I can't. And there's so many people wanting to get in this league. I'm not going to waste my time arguing. I'm not going to do it, man. I argue with my 3-year-old all the time. In fact, I just argued with her this morning because she wanted to wear blue socks that go up to her knees with a pink leggings with a dress. That's the joys of having girls. They want to argue with you, right? They're always right. Even these fish, you see those fish back there? Those are girls. My dog is a girl. So I'm living in a house of anxiety, okay? So I have to deal with that on a daily basis. I don't have time to deal with you, okay? Put the big boy pants up, put them around your waist, all right? Put the belt on, and just move forward. That's all I ask. We have something good going here, okay? Don't ruin it over a game that you should have won, or maybe that guy should have decline the penalty. We're not going to argue about that, okay? I'm not going to argue about that. Another thing, a lot of you guys are coming to me and saying, hey, the previous owner screwed me. They didn't re-sign this guy. I'm sorry, okay? I know a lot of leagues will be like, I'm going to hold that player for you. I'm sorry. That's the NFL. If you lose a big name like Julio Jones, maybe we can talk. If you lose like a 79 corner, I'm sorry. He's going into free agency if you don't lock him up, okay? I'm not going to... This is too much work, okay? I'm not going to do that, all right? So I do apologize, but I'm not going to do that. So that's one thing. I've actually had a lot of people hit me up and ask me that. They're like, hey, the previous user did this and that. I'm sorry. Unless it's a big name and you can argue. I mean, you should just tag him, franchise tag him. You can use it once. Now, if you got like 3 big names that are over 90, we'll talk, okay? If they're not, leave me alone about it, okay? Don't blow up my DMs. I swear, I'm a rep for an auto finance company. I will literally go into a dealership. I'll come out. I have an Android, so it gives me like this blue, there's like a blue light, and I actually have one right now, see? Or it's a white light, but I will go in, it'll have like 5 Discord messages that I missed. So before I leave there and go to my next visit, I'm literally calling. Now, could I just wait until after work? Sure, but I like to talk to you guys throughout the day, okay? I like to be the man amongst people. I like to sit on my king's perch and just be able to talk to all you minions. No, but seriously, man, I do love it. But when I get blown up during the day of DMs, it's like, okay, calm it down. Is this really worth DMing me about? If you just want to say hi, that's fine. But, you know, there's a lot of issues we have to go through. And you know what? We're adults. A lot of us are adults. Let's act like it. I mean, really, it comes down to that. Let's act like it. So we pointed on the complaints and some of the things that we're going through. I did cut out the 80-20 rule for the running backs and backups. The only reason I'm doing that is there's not a lot of time in the game to get you run plays for your backup. I noticed with myself, I'm getting like 13 carries with Aaron Jones and like 5 carries or 3 carries with Williams. And I consider myself a 50-50 pass versus run. So we're going to cut that out right now. We may bring it back if we end up doing something with the accelerated clock, you know, giving more people plays and stuff. But as of right now, I'm not. And we're going to do away with that. We did raise the sliders up to 150 for offensive linemen. Again, thank you, Rev, for that. That's a great suggestion because you're right. They do not have any type of goals that they can get XP, and it probably will limit sacks a little bit more. Okay, I understand that, and sacks are crazy. The sacks are absolutely crazy right now. And Joey Bosa, 20. I mean, if you're catching our graphics on Twitter, man, it's crazy. I mean, he's going to end up with 40 by the end of the year. And I played against him, man. That dude's like throwing people off. Like, I double teamed him twice, man. And he just looked at me like I was like a little girl, man. Like, are you really trying to block me and just sack my quarterback? So we're going to try to raise him a little bit. Hopefully it'll help out, help raise the, raise the overall, like, less sacks, stuff like that. So again, guys, I always open suggestions. I can't promise you that I'm going to rule in favor of them, but I promise you I'll listen to them, and I'll bring them staff. You can ask staff. I bring almost every single one and say, what do you guys think? I am not a dictator. This is your league, right? I just run it. I do some of the graphics. I do cool shows like this. But ultimately, man, I want you guys to enjoy yourselves. I told you from the get-go, I completely take this serious when it comes to, this is your time away from your family, and you are wanting to have a good, fun experience. I take that very seriously. I take it personally. So I want to make sure that you have the best experience out of all the CFMs out there. Some of the commissions don't give a crap, okay? They're like, you either do it this way and that's it. I'm not like that. If you have a good suggestion, I will listen to it, and maybe things get changed. But I take this very personally when it comes to that. I mean, everything else is just, it's a game. But last thing I want to point on, we may hold off on the point system. And that's more or less not because I'm lazy and I haven't really figured out a great formula for this thing, for this reward zone, which that is kind of the reason. But the biggest reason is I've seen a lot of CFMs where they're allowing players like, oh yeah, if you you get this many points, you can bump up their development rate. And the development of players are just insane. So people are playing with super teams. And one of the things that Bryce, that's right, Bryce, rest in peace, you left the league. Love you. Anyway, one of the things that Bryce brought up, which was a really good, point of view on it, was, hey, what happens is that a lot of these guys that were not active, not doing anything, leaves the league, and they leave a team that didn't get any of those upgrades. So the new guy comes in, and he's got to play catch up with all these super teams, right? Because they were doing Twitter, they were doing all this. So I'm trying to figure out a way that will allow you guys to be benefited by the content and creation that you're doing, but not allow you to create super teams and allow you to build your teams through that. I'm just not going to do that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. So we're kind of in the midst of still trying to figure that out. Could be out by season 3. I'm not thinking it's going to be out by season 2. But I will tell you, I'm going to tell you this. You're in my staff. You have a Twitter. And you're active. And you're doing shows or you're doing tweets. Don't think that that does not count towards the team selection for the new Madden that comes out. So you keep that in mind. Your activity is going to play a big part on where you draft, because we're going to do a complete team draft. And I'm going to have a badass show for you guys. So don't think for a second that you doing these tweets, and I'll tell you who's killing it right now. I'm super impressed by him, and I just pulled him into staff as Terminator, man. The Panthers love that guy, man. I've had so many people hit me up and be like, dude, this guy's awesome. Where did he come from? I haven't even seen him in the Madden community. I feel like he's like the Tom Brady. He's like I picked him in the 6th round just because I didn't know who he was, and then he's just blown up doing all these great things. He makes like highlight videos. He just made a highlight video for his division. That's how awesome this guy is. Playing, I haven't had one complaint about him. He takes a loss and he never complains. So this dude is like on fire right now. I love this guy. So don't think that that's not going to go for, your future team selection. Also, we're going to have an awards ceremony at the end of the season. I like to be able to give you guys something, and sim owner, the most sim owner that nobody complains about, maybe the most active. Maybe this guy gets his game scheduled every single week. He's the first game that gets scheduled. Maybe it's a guy that's doing like the Golden Pin Award. Maybe he's the one that's tweeting out the most, or we'll do some fun ones, man. I haven't came up with all those yet, but I do have an idea, so stay tuned with that. With that being said, guys, again, thank you for joining us. I really do appreciate all the support that I get from a lot of you guys out there. Even if you're not in the league, if you're if you're in a different league, I'm getting a lot of great feedback from you guys, and I really do appreciate that. Because a lot of this, when you create your own league, if you don't have a lot of guys that are doing content, I have Al and I have some other guys. But I'm telling you, man, I feel like me and Al kind of created the content, and it just has spread like wildfire. Everyone wants to do it, and without any type of rewards tied to it. So I'm so proud of that. But this is hard, man, when you kind of create this yourself. I mean, I'm not patting myself on the back, but I think we've done a pretty damn good job of this. So with that being said, thank you, everybody, and I do appreciate it, and I hope that everyone has a great day, because January 2020 has not started out, January 2020 has not started out the greatest. We've got the coronavirus, Australia fires. Kobe Bryant just passed away. And that's a little bit, and that hits me a little bit, just because we're about the same age. We've got girls that are the same age, and that kind of hits me a little bit. So pray for his family. His wife is raising 3 other daughters that are not going to be able to see their father. And I get a little emotional, but the families that were affected on that helicopter as well, the other families that were not even mentioned. So I do want to say, with everything that's going on, just appreciate what you have. And I'm trying to make your experience away from the real world as best as I can. So I do appreciate you sticking with me and being a part of this. I really do. It's been a great ride so far. I'm only excited for more, the more that we can do with this, and the places we can go. I'm going to try to get some tickets to EA Play. I'm going to try to get our league, all of our league, if you stick around, a beta code. So I'm going to work my tail off on trying to get us, you know, more of a name recognition and getting us out there. We're brand new, so it's just it's been a difficult road, but I'm so proud of where we've gone, and it's up, and it's you guys. It really is. It's you guys. It's not me. I just helped pick some of the guys that I thought was going to be good for this league, but you guys have been doing great with this. So again, I appreciate it. I'll get off my emotional stool there and let you guys get back to your everyday life. And again, I appreciate it. I hear my newborn crying upstairs, so my wife is probably gonna smack me when I get up there. But anyways, you guys have a great, blessed day. And from your commish for the Apex League, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching this. Take care.